me put the link in for.
Oh yes. Also, if you can make sure it doesn't like randomly stop them.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks. So I'll probably need to. Okay, I'm good.
Great. Mo good? Niche? Anyone not ready? Cool. Perception of purpose will affirm if I told you my name was Westlake, you believe me, ethics must be first philosophy, we must recognize the country first our obligations, mark ideas, whether enterprise ethics independent upon an antecedent international purpose or principles, but self-evident, authoritative for every words one, it is possible to derive appearance from a state of appearance, the fact that I have impulse cannot provide moral reason unless I already believed in order to be something like that. I also listen that impulse is inescapable, either making irreducible judgment with conclusion or factual evidence not, but any non-ethical foundation you cannot deduce it from features of the world, to explanatory accounts fail, you can't understand ethics in any terms of ethical display that external rationality of ethics is possible, which is the rationality of anything else. We already do like playing games with the card, the tag there, the other fundamentally this structural world, but decided denying its relations, forcing us to accept it for what it is, our interaction with it, is between the world or obligation to respect Mr. Hood. Unlike us, we put constitution into that into our world, and basically was unknown to live in an environment where everything has a relation to be a foundation. Involved both your own concepts of ability and your role defense of the other person, are not supportable to their infinite being unconscionable in conduct categories because we prepare the world what is he has such a dead mystery forever, and executing conduct must let it be what it is. It is by you as an opening, or something wonderful, something of infinite. Much yourself by the changing first, saying intended to also difference marked by same iniquities, or part of the mark here, also of the other person by the machine you acknowledge. Respect the mystery of the other person. Totalization with the intent to reduce the other to an object. Denies our obligation to preserve the other's mystery. Thus, the sinner is to resist, unconditionally reject totalization of the other beavers. Not the ideas are the mind, only temptations of the real other person. Any time I take the idea to be the real, I cut off the connection with the real other people. This is the violence and denies autonomy. This is totalization occurs when I limit the other two categories and denial difference. We are placed with the content and started to be established because we also prefer independently one logic to deny the framework we established according to a recognized, but as accepted by the other, which is the validity of affirming to. Binding this debate is constituted by binding branches that it is equal to only it's by the it's canon. Communication is incomplete if you're actually on sensible communication, there be no need to communicate. However, we need communication to keep communication and appreciate no differences between us and understanding because whenever we're teaching is disrupted by the other, love also a distinction between the said and the same. The said is understood as formal communication. It includes the same. This be rational communication that gets included by the form of the said must be dislocated so that alternative might be permitted. 3. Solstice and totalization progress is this thing beyond one's consensus the one. If the solstice view and totality of the others wrong by particulars might be understood on solstice, the self can never reveal the other's otherness, but self and others seen as one. Also, we consider reflections of oneself until within self was each other the self, regardless of other expression of unity that is self-socialization. 4. Ethics is a metapolitical moment. The other demands constructive motivation for entering into political society, pushing some political action frees from a metapolitical moment is ethical responsibility and responsibility of the heart of duty where undone by each other after the self. This is actually can provide motivation to enter into political sequences from our country powerlessness in the face of the other. 5. Love and pedagogy is uniquely necessary. Curl due to blind obnoxious teaching is not pursuing education. Is so powerless to find the beats attention and needs. It's process revealing the process. Pedagogy is a lot of students make choices this year. Must foster students have a sense of home and enjoyment. This the awareness of the core of all students' aptitude. Cut the card at aptitude. 6. Rule fall fails. Passes are arbitrary since Asian families or interpretation. It is possible to enforce violations since an agent can always perceive their actions as non-violations. This result by social understandings of truth because agents have shared concessions and rules. Next, the United States substantially reduces military presence. The Republic of Iraq rebelled after negative truths and research. Doing so around instead of waiting all 6 minutes. Intervention civilization preventing authentic democracy is oil. Second, non-intervention can enable citizens to determine their way of life. Government achieved by intervention not be authentic or self-determined determined by others on citizens themselves to find a politics of sacrifice based extinction inevitable such as the West has been under the illusion to save humanity by showing part of it colonialism which has communities African slaves the rise of revolution there is no alternative logic development and direct economics or idea of a looming politics was not only preventable by the mass destruction of the other U.S.-Iraqi relations are required sovereignty violation and Iraqi politics may class inevitable cutting 24 relations are worse the last 2 months relations are approaching dynamics under Trump when you have killed a deputy commander of PML coincided with the anniversary of the assassination in Iraqi called a revolution of Iraqi policy cut the card regard as sovereignty to presence is unsustainable. Principal H problem complex partnerships and weakness the Iraqi army side. 23. Primary functions ensures a situated advice for security forces challenges in Iraq. Principal H problem conflicting interests, specials and monitoring partners. Believe support will never decrease messages. It's actually important in Iraq. Receiving the military as the right U.S. cannot substitute political legitimacy for the host government, the will oversimplify building hindered by a lack of soldiers' motivation and human resources, unable to transfer legitimacy, insurgency, take vacuum security system should not be nation building, non-militarized relations, and sovereignty, law, terror, and crush assignment. 23 states, stability in Iraq is patterns towards sustainable relations guided by Iran, or complicated relations and militaries guided by Iran, undermined by U.S. military needs to rein in military state capacity without compromising security, but toxic framework for relations as the states advance for relations drawdown should follow the lower military presence offer non-militarized relations. Process of declining for years called the emphasis caught by opportunity to draw down over the next few years, compromise growth, militias compromise growth through corruption, militias cover from Iraq, cut the card Iraq, otherwise collapse is inevitable, saying causes hostile relations with the Iraqi government, encourages corruption, having one of the critiques of drawn down uncertainties with development and the new threats, saying hastily increases withdrawal benefits will diminish troops, as the conflict is not feasible to keep them indefinitely committed, otherwise Iraq's incentive to develop capability encourages corruption, since troops are viewed as single corruption, undermine Iraq's forces gave ISIS advantage passes, can also government center on conflicts or opposition if they say extremism snowballs into CBR and terror extinction track 20 the global escalating possibilities for nuclear attack now say a terrorist groups emerge able incentives for CBRs there's strong motivation to seek out globalization to control communities chemical weapons in Iraq extended tactics African allies but CBR conflict in the Middle East is a nightmare obtaining weapons grade material if possible material was stolen and accessible to the black market over 1,800 tons enough to build hundreds of bombs which is vulnerable to corruption to returns Iraq with failed state towers 23 Parties were released with no loyalty to Iraq militias interfering that create chaos. The decline of Iraq is a failed state due to corruption, statutory violence, decline of services, so worse than weak governments not isolated from other regions. Corruption reduces investment, growth will diminish, unemployment will continue. State weakness cascades and its impact for essential risk. In 17 weaknesses that before we states posted off vulnerabilities become part of the international structure, having systematic positive sustainable economic development for all states, only made correct vulnerabilities, stable policies for all states is the backbone in international vulnerability to deal with disease, financial crisis, environmental destruction, terror, trafficking, one state's trouble can spread across the globe, and mismanaged and reduce water security, terror, 21 water Iraq using conflicts within the country, political testing abuse, damage to infrastructure, conflict impacted water resources, when ISIS take over, ISIS take water, and enable them to control population, mismanage of the Iraqi government, political situation in Iraq makes it difficult to allow lasting change, unable to plan for the long term. Okay. Long term is where the cherry evidence was marked. Do you want me to tell you all the other marks?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me one sec. The crawl evidence, 1AC5 on the framework, was marked at teacher and student, I think.
That's good.
Yeah, I think I said everything else.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. Where's long term in the cherry evidence? I don't know if I'm
Give me one sec.
It's at unable to plan for the long term.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right before short thing. Yeah, right for CS.
Cool. You read everything you read all the cards, right? You didn't skip any cards?
Yeah, nothing after cherry though.
Cool. And you didn't extend anything?
No.
Awesome. What offense do you have under Levinas?
The offense is the Doyle evidence. It indicates that non-intervention is good. It enables Iraqi citizens to determine their own way of life. Otherwise, anything else is totalizing because it imposes U.S. government's models to those citizens.
Okay, let's talk about on case. Your three impacts are failed states, terror, water shortages. Did I miss anything?
That's right.
Cool. Why is Iraq uniquely destabilizing? Why is stuff in Iraq uniquely destabilizing?
Why? Wait, sorry. Can you repeat that? Why is Iraq uniquely destabilizing?
Yeah. Why is Iraq uniquely a risk for?
Yeah. So Iran is currently intervening with proxies in the region. Those proxies are attacking U.S. troops and literally targeting them. This is especially magnified due to sectarian tensions over things like October 7th attacks, Israel, general tensions in the region, etc. This means that presence inside the region is unsustainable, and Iraq's own central government is incredibly weak. It's not able to rein in these terrorists, which makes escalation inevitable as well.
Cool. Let's talk about why did deterrence fail?
Why does deterrence fail? Wait, which card, or do you just want me to tell you?
Or why is presence unsustainable?
Yeah, why is presence unsustainable? Well, I gave you one of the warrants, which is that troops are literally sitting ducks for Iranian forces or Iranian proxies who are attacking. The second one is that troops are only there. What?
What do you mean they're sitting ducks?
Well, yeah,
Are our troops just bad right now?
no, troops are not. The troops in Iraq are not military troops. The troops are used to train Iraqi military.
Sorry, but didn't you say you're reducing military presence? What do you mean they're not military?
Well, yeah, well, they're not used for military. They're not used for a military purpose, but they're still military troops. It's for everyone. In
That
Iraq.
doesn't make any sense. They're military troops that aren't used for a military purpose.
They're used. They are used for a military purpose, i.e., they're training Iraqi civilians, but they're not directly fighting. The problem is that they are sitting ducks, which is getting them involved.
So they're not directly fighting. Okay.
They're not directly fighting, but they are getting involved. They are getting involved in conflicts because they're sitting ducks for Iranian proxies. The other warrant is that withdrawal is inevitable due to political pressures and instability in the region, but staying means that there will be an unplanned withdrawal, i.e., think what happened with Biden, Afghanistan, etc.
There will be unplanned withdrawal?
Yeah, in the future.
Why would there ever be unplanned withdrawal?
Yeah, because presence is unsustainable. We explained warrants as to why.
The only warrant you explained is that they're only doing training.
Okay, the Simon 23 evidence indicates the principal agent problem. It shows how conflicting interests, risk thresholds, monitoring, etc. means that Iraqi forces.
What are the conflicting interests?
Conflicting interests between itself and partners, Iraq and Iran. Iraq is conflicted between the U.S. and Iran.
This is about Afghanistan.
This card, it's talking about Iraq's security forces.
Okay, I'll take running trap starting now. Yeah, that's good. Okay. I have 2 minutes and 53 seconds left. I'll send out that. Order is 2 off case. On case, it's framing advantage. I love podiums. This was a good idea. Makes me feel very official.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Cool. Everyone good? Mork?
Yes, thank you.
First off, the United States will substantially increase its military presence in the Republic of Iraq, including beyond simply training Iraqi citizens. I'll add the word though. I'll send out the plan text afterwards. This solves also issues with deterrence. Also 23. Building advantage will deter attack Middle East advantage could disappear. The biggest advantage of also access facing over for the large military presence deter access critical in conflict with China, which receives oil, which would depend on its spilling down to the U.S. needs to contain Iran air superiority has been forwarded commander directly modernizing military. A 6-4 multi-domain approach is obtaining U.S. officers on easy allies with also with the U.S. needs to reform FMS and least allies, which is the double standard removing administrative red tape and congressional notification and contract war process will shorten time as a parallel the capabilities come from quality and quantity of assets producing willable with able access to classified information for gain credibility, intentional disclosures have been invaluable in Ukraine. And second off, the threat of water wars is overly securitized and justifies endless militarism, and their one AC is a self-fulfilling prophecy, Warner and Victory 2. This misguided hypothesis of research only keeps expanding, waiting for violence, only one really used strategy, multiple factors interact, almost space states have not gone to war for water, only a mix of cooperation is more likely, or invasion, water treaties, survive wars for decades, water is not the primary driver, in India and China, sharing water was drawn into a border pursuit, sharing data was a war, was drawn into a border dispute with false narratives, it's damaging narratives, have consequences, repeated false claims, because self-fulfilling prophecies, we lend repeated nations, untruths, and divergent resources, rather than bring resolution to underlying challenge, must stop construction of civil one, starting to defense favors military forces, and
The alternative to the see securitized representations of water will have like also narratives expand orientalism by painting the east as irrational and undermine the false environmentalist movement. You should bracket the plan in favor of a prior refusal of the affirmative frame of water wars. INITEL 2019. Scientific evidence is limited to cooperation when it's likely as conflict violence is very extremely rare cooperation from improved relations, nations and consent and hard to control. It is cheaper to invest than to fight to condemn. Conflicts are attributed to marginalization rather than scarcity itself. Secures are practice to reduce conflict realities into convenient facts by allowing crowd for after sustaining legitimate perspective question the knowledge taken for granted or predicted water wars undermine credibility. The alarmist environmentalist movement to focus on the water obscure political and economic causes of violent conflict discussion or reproduce orientalist images of knowing people as naturally found and unable to manage our environments, modern conflicts, discourse legitimate valid after responses. These included investment, higher military budgets, and tighter reporters. And next on case. First, some framework permissibility and the actions of proven action obligations to the about presumed to be double to saving being false, but I don't believe conspiracy theories standard to maximize external being before one use episode want to see framework unites as in fact even say 100% of the framework 200% of our impact seconds utils portions specific to public actors results in pretty research means all value green 15. You should consider going back to try to move on. I got trying to advise and for the results so that you know what's going to match your usual partiality such as decision makers regard everybody's interest equal matters for everybody else. The quality of experience, say why do you care? You come down to the quality experience today. Why do you go to work today? You make money in a place to live to see if it's cold or wrong, cold or just bad enough in terms of pleasure, remaining good scenario for all public history, Mr. Business or street. And third is on you to let some rules will be 7. Science studies human moral judgment, not appreciating rational enterprise, judgment driven by harmful rules with disposition shaped by harmful evolutionary functional force, biological, procedural, coordinated moral theory, common error, moral intuition, rules, environment, basically leading factual, culture, values, are not distinctly deontological consequences against people to deal with your arbitrary personal being, deontological, answers to tautological, and internal expanding. And fourth, exchange first is the word for total you'll see the universal as infinite magnitude. 5 is linguistics and social construct for communicating ethical values on the basis of our ethical values. And 6 is when under solves is executor to be 2. And 7 is infer from best explanation, also can explain why other pull their hands away from work. So my rescue is related to a response to stimuli, and 8 is morally repugnant. Skip that. Actually, 9 is utils and conjectural results. Rule following what maximize plan and minimize color is different in different scenarios. And 10 is critique utils as feature replace Levinas makes it causes confluence. And 11 is that Levinas cops the util and fails of ethical policy, making the existence of third parties makes responsibility impossible to determine. Example 99. The original circumstance we could declare non-difference in relation to the other cannot be surprised even when it takes a form of politics or warfare. 11 is a formulation responsibility. This is a problem when it comes to politics compromise attention to face-to-face and circumstances marked by multiplicity of others. 12 is alterity progress. Constructing the others is unknowable. Reject their infinite unknowability by describing them to the level of unknowability, which makes rejecting the others no unknowability of paradox. I'm skipping the card. Offense. 1. No state weakness impact. Some by other big states like Syria and Sudan, their card is not specific to Iraq. Second, no solvency interventions are not military present. The absence of combat is a defining characteristic. This week is 94. An important distinct characteristic of ours is the absence of combat with the crisis response to same combat presence, no violent crisis, responsible also limited violence, sustained combat, sees large scale violence, large scale violence, continue with its oriented three define need for distinct capabilities. And third is long extinction, sacrificial logic, it's mass genocide, and 4 is reject value to life arguments are abundantly false. That's why we all have it all killed ourselves yet. And 5 is American force into Iraq to deter ISIS and other terrorist groups. Where I love it. 8. American forces in Iraq and Syria utilize the military techniques that remain steadfast and enduring to defeat devices challenges include ongoing attacks against bases in Syria and Iraq, protect U.S. service members or deter other groups or countries from escalating into enduring commitment to last defeat devices and even military efforts to prevent ISIS focus on defeat devices mission of preventing presence to ensure security and stability. And 6 is that forces in Iraq are key in coordination with SDF and fighting ISIS. Robo 23. U.S. forces coordinating with SDF leaders provided air cover and assisted military and counterterrorism forces provide improved security or counterterrorism operations help restore local governance security of the U.S. border for unnecessary effort against ISIS follow apart when the ISIS feel involved with anti operations Syria withdrawal also encouraging human region of northeastern Syria including diplomatic push right the SDF with likely collapse would certainly stop fighting ISIS withdrawal could lead to a bloody free for all. And 7 is American military presence strong and increasing such a crucial deterrence value in the Middle East. Treatment 23. The U.S. has increased military presence in the Middle East since the war between Israel and Hamas aimed at deterring religious regional wars and targeting strike group nuclear power some for here strike group for warships fiber is determined to deploy 1,200 troops since the war. And 8 is the U.S. withdrawal guaranteed Middle East war deterrent power document now that fellow. Question 21. Primary maritime points are in the Middle East. No nation that might travel to replace the U.S. and China would leverage energy flows to benefit to non-proliferation has been prominent with increasing Iranian nuclear supplies. Saudi Arabia better developed Iran as located over the region of whole student. Iran calls for Israel's destruction. 2 states has actually found their way. Iran has been penalization to Syria and Iraq. Iran has been clear in its strategic objective to drive the U.S. out of the region, which abuses the necessary unit for Iran and hegemonical for Russia and Turkey has aspirations to perceive the U.S. ability to withdraw those who threaten expanding their ability to protect power, those who support our hedging by building military capabilities, negative dynamics are driven by a perception that would be accelerated withdrawal became a reality. Every U.S. arbitration partner believes our sense of activity for navigation prevented a wide future war. And 9 is military East war, Middle East war goes global nuclear plus in 2020. Mid-East or Brooklyn to define 1.3 strikes to the air level to protect areas Iranian Russian forces China has ships and a global bomb they could become involved when troops are deployed in northern Syria, making his actions unpredictable. U.S. China and Russia and Israel have news protecting next jet hypersonic missiles hypersonic systems would end with nuclear exchange. And 10 is U.S. dominance in the Middle East are strong with shaky military presences key to counter revision expansion. China and Russia perceive great power competition 0-sum. Thing is 23. The region's undergoing transformations is on Washington attention remind Ukraine and Syria some favors such as Nepal, China, Indiana, China, security partners with Iranian better relationship Russian subversive led subversive action around its bar status has been mitigated considerably by China and ground prince. The ability to by refusing increase all production U.S. to close on relationship support U.S. to try to blanket the UAE, Saudi Arabia's expanded relationship with Gaza, and North China can effectively replace the U.S. Cut the guard U.S. And 11 strong triggers U.S. China Russia fill. U.S. is still a major player for the planned trigger trade power competition. SCFP 21. U.S. skills back military presence. China Russia fill the gap. U.S. is slowly may look also at area to that competition. Russia China with local facilities here factory what was taking this way there may be an opportunity in Russia to lower defense system trying to expand its economic power and establish military bases. America's primary long-term security challenge in Beijing seeking footholds in Africa and the Middle East. Cut the guard Middle East. And 12 great power competition meetings with nuclear U.S. president necessary to avoid prevent arms for calculation. Me 2015. Summer the United States to reduce involvement in the Middle East wars, destroy lives in the U.S. ensure the commerce taking land energy out of the global competition to prevent bounding power, gaining ability to blackmail the world along its area, break power peace of the major 4 hours or engage build up a strong American presence in the Middle East, suppressing security competition to the United States with China, would see need to protect the security, accelerating build up and you would see this as a threat to rose looking for competition for security would drive hostility. Got the card of hostility.
Wait, in which evidence?
This is me 2015 would drive hostility.
Okay, just give me 1 sec. Okay, cool. Ready? Status of the counterplans, or counterplan K?
Caught down.
Okay. The alternative is to reject the one who sees securitized representations. You should bracket the plan in favor of a prior refusal. The affirmative frames is the alternative, a floating pick.
It's a pick, P-I-K.
Okay, cool. Nothing exempt in the doc, right?
No.
Okay. I guess, can you explain how the internal in Olson as to why increasing military presence would solve issues with deterrence?
Yeah, so I asked you, do you want the actual counterplan text, by the way? It's simply beyond simply training Iraqi citizens.
Okay.
I asked during cross-text why military presence fails or is unstable right now, and you said the reason why is because they're sitting ducks, because they're just sitting there, and they're only training Iraqi citizens. We would say this is clearly just proving that we're not spending enough military presence, they're not doing enough. They should, instead of just be training Iraqi citizens, they should be actively engaged troops. Plus, we would sort of increase a lot of the weaponry,
Okay.
so they're better armed.
If consequentialism is true, should we get to weigh the case versus the K, or does the alternative reject
It's
the
a
one who
pick,
sees offense?
so it solves case.
Okay, got it.
We would say your representations of water wars are bad.
Okay. Extinction comes first. It's the worst of all evils. What's the warrant for that?
Oh, sorry, that I did accept, I forgot. It was A, because it has infinite magnitude, and B, it's irreversible.
Why does it have infinite magnitude, and why are our impacts also not infinite?
Because it forecloses the possibility of all potential future life.
Why is future life good?
All of the affirmative reasons. A is that pain and pleasure is intrinsically bad, so at the very least dying by nuclear firefight is bad. B is that everything in the affirmative about how the other matters seems to suggest that other people's lives matter. Also, solipsism is untrue.
Okay.
I guess it's morally repugnant, by the way.
I know. The cannibal evidence, can you just explain why Levinas would collapse Utah?
Yeah, so we argue that because Levinas argues that you always have a relationship to the other, it means that that even in policymaking, you always have a relationship with every other person, which means you have to care about the pain and well-being of these other people. Or it's impossible because you can't ever take into account the third other that always exists. Even if I encounter you and I see your infinite unknowability face to face, there's always another person who's like in the next room over who also has this.
Okay, so why can we, as opposed to an infinite responsibility, why can't we just have a responsibility to both? Like what's preventing us?
Yeah, that just proves that it collapses to utilitarianism, because then we should have to care about everybody's pain and pleasure.
Okay. Okay, the alterity paradox, can you explain it?
Yeah, the alterity paradox is that if you recognize the infinite unknowability of other people and you say that every other is infinitely unknowable, then they're not infinitely unknowable because you have just constrained them by saying that they're infinitely unknowable. You've put them in the box of infinitely unknowable, which is a paradox.
Okay, cool. No crap. I'll send you one year done.
Well, with the pinkest evidence says US a couple times. Which one is?
Oh, sorry. Let me see. I cut it at none nor China can effectively replace the US.
The one-year doc sent, the order is going to be K at the top, then 3 new sheets. No, sorry, 4 new sheets. Then decide.
Okay, the top 4 new sheets. What do you mean by decide?
I mean, I just float on the decide as an impact trade. Like the
You
like.
mean on case?
Or yeah, I mean, like
Okay.
it's not. It's honestly, it's just yeah, sure. I mean, I just float on a new sheet or just float top down.
Wait, so K, sorry, K, 4 new
Yeah.
sheets.
Yeah, K, 4 new sheets, then case, I suppose.
Okay.
Cool. Let me just
Okay.
set a timer. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, me too.
Is anyone not ready? Cool.
Conceding you to a consequential conversation way under the, against the K, and if you always want to see which center around on arbitrary affairs that was fair and necessary for other Westlake have against them, and particularly unless we're of testing it affirms underneath their interpretation, refs are tied to consequences, why not is alpha proves that the consequences of the plan is good and securitizing water is good because it destroys the entire world as per their own evidence, which means that which is only affirmative opposite prime to the all. It affirms underneath their framework interpretation. Pigs are going to they steal alpha research and the water due to arbitrary frames, shifting debates for correlation towards the margin, which let's repeat the pig most desirable size of office in the resolution, reading DAs and implicating the absolute content education of the pig artificially influence the world of bad now. Yes, one is here, otherwise it can be easily abused, it can be dangerous, A, splitting archery. There's no way to know what constituted, B, normally, splitting violence, theory ad hoc, which can't stand orders over season, C, for theory is good, forces, A, debates all the doctrine debater, A, the one is too short to win theory is also B, deters future views, debaters won't read abuse of arguments and glues, outweighs the shell system, larger time invested, the one to see it's hard to win, don't turn up paradigms, just thinking out clear, with you once for 6 minutes, making checking abuse of possible message only has theory now. Interpretation, when debaters create email chains requesting app disclosure, they must add all judges on the email chain, violation, they didn't just ask me to screenshot the dog. The standards been provided when clash if the app is disclosed or didn't disclose property to neg would have to send a screenshot. The app is Photoshop. A screenshot of the trials making debates irresolvable. Argument solved means that judges think the debaters can resolve disclosure. Normally outweighs the conversions. Are the best paradigms that they should be. Conduct is a way to choose the time card. One or candidates must office against multiple roles with different unique conditions in the class. No one's undercover which arrests engagement. Just results that can cater for they get to test the outcome because strategic options like pointing out contradictions and trade terms now. Interpretation, the negative must present the law and he said what see during the one city clarifying by saying the absence of conduct on conduct display the one see one trust you when angels the aspects that lose evidence to prep answers and deterrence actions like reading case that was a theory irresolvable you know the entire absence of conduct has whole evidence to prep so the ability to prep during the NC2 now new sheet use the truth testing paradigm for the truth of the resolution but after word for minute theory outweighs with fairs compares when we can answer one logic you don't see both of the player who chooses most 3 points better player wins to conclusion they exclude all of this except what falls short of the specific paradigm which is of those without the resources to prepare and anything else collapses winning your world is better for less than on proving true now one result is defined as firm intent and determined it's also passive resolution has already been proven true needs to express agreement and you already know that I do the exclusive line which alters you come oh wait one L is true two does not because L is true therefore true is true explosion can be modified to prove any proposition there are reasons to think the references are true and interferes is well true contradiction is LEM it is both true and false and way between frameworks is infinitely relative because it requires infinite anyway which are competing way because that means that every framework is equally valid meaning that when any index affirms the suspicion of an F underneath my index the affirmative is good and now and 4, Raven paradox, paraphrasing wicked 1, premise 1, if someone is judged, they must vote out. Premise 2, if someone is not judged, they must not vote out. My good is not judged, they must not vote out. My, that supports P2, because they are not judged, and therefore must not vote out, since P2 and P1 are logically equivalent to judgment, must vote out. Now, the case. Extinction is good under usual suffering, always benefits of human extinction. Roughly, 70 life is possible for frustration, those close to a suffering, the pain is worse than pleasure, good, there's no kind of pain, there's no kind of pleasure. Reason out of good experiences is the same as having bad wills. The essence of the bad would be good, but the essence of good would be bad, nobody to be deprived of those good things. Best estimates that center, you understand the belief or alien civilization, literal. Disney astronomers estimate that the universe has at least a half trillion species in color, identify thousands of planets, 1% of a billion planets, highly pessimistic, 420 billion intelligent civilization is the estimate of civilization last million years, 210. It says that at any given moment, alien life should be valued as equal to human studies. Human extinction is good to avoid universe destruction. Packer 7. Once we hold alien interests as equal to our own, we can reevaluate every type that there is life beyond Earth. There are particle acceleration. There are faith-based transition killing all laws. Many attack machines may reach the ability to self-replicate, which they could at least in analytical machines converting all matter in the universe. The copies of themselves destroy the entire universe. Construction of others only turns to threats, but never to terror. One puts the center of destruction without taking into account the danger able enough to neither nor just arbitrarily. It occurs other life forms on working. Extinction is a dictation rules. Is all straight future generations non-human suffering. Third, the narcissistic 16 animals of life so bad, not worth living, suffering, life, starvation, should not be eaten alive are more common. And while diseases prohibited associated such as impressions in most species, is articulation, which is a majority of us starved or eating. Further afterwards, studies of animal densities estimate there are 600 billion mammals, 60 children of fish, focus on preventing the existence of animals, even a small reduction would outweigh.
Cool. I should have 253 left. The interps were, picks are a voting issue, have to add judges to email chain. Condo is a voting issue, spec status in 1NC, truth testing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think truth testing is a big issue, but yeah.
Okay, well that was the interp.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Does anyone have a Mac charger by any chance? This one doesn't seem to work.
It's a USB-C charger.
Yeah. Alright, thanks. Thanks.
Cool. Order is going to be truth testing. Sorry. Extinction, the case page, truth testing, K. Condo, add judges, spec status in 1NC.
Sorry, I guess I can do one more time.
Case,
Yeah.
truth testing, the pick, condo's a voting issue, add judges, spec status.
Wait.
Just 1 second.
What was condo before?
Condo is before add judges.
And spec status last?
Yeah.
Are there any, is there a dog or anything? Is there a dog?
No.
Okay, yeah. Great.
Yeah.
On extinction good, the pick does the plan, which means that we get all their offense if the plan caused extinction. Truth testing. One is that framework comes first. They're attempting to make the debate about tricks rather than their racist representations in the 1AC proves that they're just trying to skirt accountability rather than dealing with the substance of the pick. And B is that we win under truth testing. We prove that the resolution is not true in the way that the affirmative is represented because of their problematic representations. And three is that there's no sort of logic offense there. There's no reason why it's illogical to have to talk about the representations and no, the resources stuff doesn't matter. Resources stuff doesn't matter. It's not an excuse for being racist. Then they say it collapses, but it doesn't matter. We're not going for comparative rules. We're going for rules about epistemology. You should reject indexicals as untrue. Reject schools and trivialism. There's no warrants actually in the 1 and C. Neither 1AR, neither were there for Ravens paradox. Reject arguments have no warrant. K proper. They have dropped that water insecurity is a bad way to frame threats. Or War of Vision 22 cards really good on this. A constructs Asian people, i.e. the Middle East and Iraqis, as unable to actually take care of their own water resources, and instead as irrational people who are willing to go to war and they aren't able to actually do, who are willing to go to war over stupid, over minimal things like a war at the drop of a hat, which means that they are which reproduces Orientalism. They drop this, which means that a chance that I'm winning the framework debate easily outweighs. One is that we don't need to win framework against any risk of a link is a massive turn-on case. The concept of water wars hurts strategic planning because it means that we are over-investing in water wars when they're not actually that much of a threat and only create them to be more of a threat, because once we think water wars are a threat, it means that we over-secure water resources by sending troops there. That was our bitch card. Second is the role of battles to interrogate the assumptions by the 1EC of having the epistemology act as a prerequisite to weighing the impacts. If we disprove their reps vote neg preferred A's clash with long start, or the K proves that debating epistemology creates better education. That was our bitch card, which specifically talks about how securitizing representations of water wars actually create water wars, which means that it causes the creation of the fear-mongering culture through terms like water security. It actually justifies the military's expansion into every sphere of life. B, to reject fairness for 2 reasons. One, it's only internal linked to education, but we're winning that epistemological clash is good. And second is the vast number of apps on this topic, meaning that their impact is inevitable. Conditional apathy, process counterplans, and spreading the mood of the 1EC anyways. And third is the case for lexically prior of the apps ideologies bad. You should not have no reason to trust their advantages or truths to overcorrect for the K. And 4 is good as literacy for voting the app can't prevent extinction, but voting next fills up how we view securitization in debate. And 5 is the accountability to decide weighing the apples to obey responsibility for harmful subject formation. 6 is that rep shape reality. That was above. On the debate proper. They say that the only extension was water wars are real, but if water wars are real, then they're good because of Spark A and B. They conceded all our warrants, and they said no warrants. Why water wars aren't real? Then they say perfectly all, but that's separate. They can't separate out of the reps. That was above. Then they say picks are a voting issue. Counter-interpretation, explicit 1 and C picks are good. It solves random word picks and floating picks, which solves their best offense. Second is justified. The framework forces us to steal the plan because it arbitrarily reduces all critiques to a question of implementation utility, which leads to a question of justification. The third is the critical picks are good. It solves education best. K debate is inevitable. Their model means we have to go for framework code, to go for reps link, because otherwise the debate is question reduced to extinction outweighs with picks out of parts of the plan of the middle ground. Justifications matter. Kissinger and anti-war protesters both anti-rock with the difference in their justification as massive implications. 4 usually stability for win, but that interpret debatable default. It could be interpreted incentivized surface theory and causes subject crowd out. Independently can drop the argument, not the team. It solves for all of their offense. There's no reason why they have to drop the debater every time the app has won a theory debate disproves their argument. Conduct. Counter-interpretation, negative camera, conditional position, preferred A's, next yes, infinite paradox, and X's access, all possible strategy, competencies, structural advantage, B's, for decision-making, one with reject the F if counterplay is better, or if the status quo is better. C's, cross-play everything I said above on picks, and D's, that framework comes first, that was a K. On E's, they're heavily negative, new term makes theory debates impulsively out neg, because I know to an arsenal what they actually said in the 1 error, understand is proper, 1 reciprocity, I have multiple aspects that conduct through printing out advantage, second is time skews inevitable, means their intersolvencies marginal to A, some people talk faster, B, I can 10 distance, the F on time straight turn, and 3 is that dispo proves that their own offense is not unique, teams can force perms by running process counterplans, which means that dispo is functionally conduct. Add judges. Counter-interpretation, we do not have to add judges when asking for disclosure. A is that you cross-play everything I said above. B is that it is verifiable. So there's a difference in photoshopping the screenshots, and I can just show you our computer so you can actually see what happens. And C is that it wastes time when we could be using it for preparation, which controls the internal link to substantive engagement, which is the only impact of fairness. Also D, screenshots prove it's verifiable. Oh, also, they didn't add any screenshot of who I sent. So there's no reason, we meet. Spec status in the 1 and C. Spec status in the 1 and C is 1. Counter interpretation, I do not need to spec status in the 1 and C. A is that it's infinitely regressive. You can force it to score, you can spec anything in the 1 and C, which makes substantive clash of impossible because I don't have time to spec everything in the 1 and C, which means that we're wasting time. That we could be actually engaging with the representations of the 1 and C. B is that there's no strat skew. They could ask for the first second of cross-examination, which still gives them all their prep time. And C is that strat skew is inevitable. That was above it. D is that they say that it's reciprocal, but it's key to actually reciprocity, as proven by the fact that they literally kicked out of basically their entire app during this debate. And E is that it forces them to ask better cross-examination questions, which forces people to actually engage. Go back to truth testing. The trivialism argument makes no sense, and it's completely illogical. There's no reason why any of the statements they've given is true, and it makes the debate irresolvable because the saying can be true of the negative. The indexical stuff doesn't make any sense. If we prove that their representations were bad, then it was true. The Ravens paradox, literally, the Ravens paradox wasn't warranted. There's no evidence that Raven's paradox is actually true, and independently, paradoxes just prove that the way we're thinking about an argument is wrong, not that the way we are framing the argument is actually wrong, not that something is untrue.
Okay. Starting from now. Okay, the order is going to be the case page, then the K. Anything after that will be signpost. Case page, I mean wipeout.
Wait, so case page and the K?
Yeah.
Wait, indeed.
Cool. All right. Anyone not ready? Cool. All right.
The frame for this debate is that you need an impact or link argument. They've dropped their death and human extinction is good. We conceded you told the one I see and said that it justifies my death is good, which is a wrong evidence. I'll explain it here. 1. The asymmetry principle. The absence of pain is good, but in the absence of pleasure is either good or bad since it was never experienced. Consider the following analogy. John can get sick, but he has the ability to recover quickly. Sally never gets sick, but she also lacks her ability to recover quickly. It is good that Sally doesn't get sick, but it is not bad that she lacks her ability to recover fast, which proves that the absence of a bad thing like sickness or pain is good, but the absence of a good thing like recovery or pleasure is not bad. That means that only we have a risk of office, but affirmative to end humanity and end people's lives would prevent all future suffering. Underneath utilitarianism, 2. Negative utility, lit review, and scientific analysis all conclude that life produces more pain than pleasure. Even if your life feels comfortable, there are millions of people living in poverty in the midst of civil wars, etc. And even the greatest potential imaginable and significant compared to those gruesome pain, which is proven by the existence of contemplation, but not of contemplation, which is the drop in link in the relevant evidence, which means that death is good underneath utilitarianism, which is a dropped argument. Now, the framing students and the tutor had no arguments as to why water wars is bad. We have impact or decay because we said that water wars would be good and securitizing it is good because death is good. Now, the question you have to ask is, what is the impact of decay? They said, quote, threatening water wars, quote, hurts strategic planning, and quote, creates water wars, which would kill people as per AC evidence. Our argument is that it is good because it kills people. Independently, they said it turns case because it hurts strategic planning, which means that it turns the advantage. So the affirmative causes extinction, which we read extinction and pass in the 1AC, which is a good thing. The tutor had no impact. This is a defense of our representation because it proves that whatever they are critiquing is good. We meet their affirmative interpretation. They did not do enough impact values why exclude the case or exclude the impactors, which means they should not do that for them. Independently, I'll win the permutation and we get severance, not severance, but plain focus, which justifies the permutation, conceding you told consequences in the 1AC, which means they should weigh against the K. The tutor, the 1AC read arguments that's why intent focus is bad and that we should prioritize consequences and consequences of the plan, which is most ethical. They read these arguments for us, so I do not have to reinvent the wheel. They drop their affairs internally and those with the 1AC reach sentence around arbitrary frames, i.e. water worth, which is not part of the full self framework of the 1AC, which is not an integral part of the advantage, which is a random frame inside the 1AC. They dropped it outweighs because fairness is necessary for every argument, otherwise you have to get them. And predictably less for independent with these, but are absent advocates and turns decay. They also dropped that it affirms underneath their interpretation our representations are tied to our consequences and wipe out as ab office, which proves that the consequences of the plan are good. Plain focus starts like permutation to do the alternative because they've solely critiqued the way we've tied representation to the water wars, not our impact, which is not a link to the consequences of the plan. Now, the tutor's argument, the epistemology DA1, the ballot cannot solve it, homeschool, religion, etc. All overdetermine the way we think and internalize understandings of the world. It's just one debate ground, no one will remember it. But fairness that way is because it's lost thing and it controls the ability to have office in the first place. They see it's an internal link to education. We've explained why it turns decay, so this is irrelevant, but we explained it as an intrinsic impact above because it's necessary for every argument. Otherwise, you cannot guess that they say vast number of affirmatives, condo process, etc. I'm conceding, T check all the vast number of affirmatives and condo process. I'm conceding that condo is not abusive, which is that there's not a vast amount of vows. They say the case prior you shouldn't trust. The advantage is true. We've proven that our procedural impacts are good, which should be sufficient. They say ballot proximity, that was answered above. Your ballot cannot solve representation, but it can solve fairness. Not affirmative. They drop their impacts are good. Good debate. What? Versus the K.
But